Happy holidays! I've got a gift for you. Buy 4 tarot readings or coaching session gift codes in any combination and you'll receive 2 additional gift codes too. So use all 6 codes for yourself or share them with friends and family as holiday gifts, stocking stuffers, or maybe even birthday presents. These don't expire, so you can feel free to use them and share them throughout the year. Merry Christmas, and thank you so much for being my friends. Hi there, Capricorn. This is your weekly reading for the week of December 21st. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you. I hope everything's going your way. It's very snowy where I'm at right now, and I just trudged around outside, and it's just so fine and powdery you might mistake it for powdered sugar. On Monday, the card you've drawn is the Nine of Wands in reverse, and this is a card that indicates you're starting to feel a little more safe about coming out of your shell and bringing your guard down just a little bit. Not so much that it would be crazy to just like walk into a bar, get drunk, and go home with somebody, but especially for those of you that are looking for companionship, you can start to feel like, all right, so I'm feeling comfortable with this, I can come out. This also applies in different areas where you've just felt a little bit, I don't want to say depressed, but just withdrawn and you haven't really wanted to interact with other people. I think it's okay to come out now, especially at this time when, even if you're alone and you don't have family, or you're divorced and you don't have spouses and all of that, and you're just doing your own thing, it's okay to come out and squeeze the tomatoes in front of everybody and, you know, just greet people at the supermarket. Mercury is in Capricorn, your solar first house, sextiling Chiron in Pisces, your solar third house of communication. So this is an opportunity for you to be able to communicate and have people respond nicely to you. And happy birthday, because the sun is now moved into your territory, marking the beginning of the winter solstice. On Tuesday, the card that you've drawn is the Eight of Wands in reverse. And this is just a card that indicates, you know, some of you that were hoping to go see family or be with friends and taking trips might have found that things are getting a little complex with weather shifts. Other people I've told to please put that kind of flight insurance where you can move your flights around. It costs a little money up front, but it's always the way to avoid a headache, especially since we've got Mercury in shadow in your solar first house. It's not going to cause you as many problems as it would cause me, because I'm a Virgo rising Scorpio, with that being Mercury, my ruler of my first house. It's always kind of crazy. I could tell you some stories. Here also, we have to keep in mind that we're just coming off of the Mars in Libra, your solar 11th house of friends and networking, and even income, including bonuses that you're expecting if you get it every year at about the same time. Semi-sextiles Jupiter and Virgo, your solar 9th house. So there could have been a little glitch in that you find out that your bonus or turkey certificates or whatever you're going to get are a little bit held up, and they will show up, but there could even be an issue with direct deposits, and or you're given your bonus or that check that regularly comes at about this time of year and that you've come to expect it, and maybe the amounts are wrong or you were taxed in a weird bracket. So pay attention to it, because there could be a glitch that you'll say, oh, go figure, this happened last year, that kind of thing. But here the opportunity is that they'll fix it, and they could even give you something extra for your trouble, or that you have a delivery comes to your house, and it may show up in like ninth house. I would say it'd probably be FedEx or UPS overnight that contracted through somebody else, and there's a damage to the package, or it actually was delayed, and then either the company or most likely your contact where this came through gives you something extra in return, especially for those of you who were counting on something to happen as it applies to you regularly, and especially so if it was supposed to be delivered like overnight or within 2 days. That's where you're going to see that that will correct itself. So don't fear. It's just one of those things that happens. Wednesday, we've got the Ace of Swords in reverse, and this is interesting because this is also when we're starting to warm up for more communications. And these could be communications that aren't really moving the way you just thought they were. And at the same time, they will come forward, and actually, if there's a miscommunication, it will be resolved again in somehow your favor, to your advantage, or you get some kind of consolation gift added to it. Something here means it kind of doesn't go the way that you just were understanding the communication would go, i.e., you had a conversation with somebody, regardless of who it is, your son, your boss, your employee, your mother-in-law, and it seemed to be understood. There were no inferences to these communications, that just was, and you're like, whoa, what was that? That was just weird. Don't worry about it. It's about to be, again, cleared up in your advantage. Thursday, we've got on Christmas Eve the Two of Swords upright. This is, again, indicating where you're like, I don't know what to do with this information. Do I accept it at face value? Do I question, thereby almost creating a tense situation? Don't say anything. It will actually resolve itself just fine. More than likely on Christmas Eve, when the moon goes void, of course, your information gets cleared up. This interaction clears itself up. Venus in Scorpio, your solar 11th house, again stimulated with a sextile to Jupiter in Virgo, that 9th house again. Even your friends could kick in and say, hey, wait, no, it wasn't that they misunderstood. Their car actually broke down over here. And then that person comes bearing more gifts or laden with apologies and some sweetness mixed in. Again, that kind of consolation prize energy. If you do have to make a knee-jerk kind of decision, again, try not to jerk your knees. Try just not to do it, because it's going to work out in your favor. Friday, we've got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, which just may seem concerning to you, but I actually like it right here, because this is where we get that misunderstanding might not turn out to be what you'd expected, but then it's better than expected. And on Christmas Day here, let me flip to my next notes. We have, we're coming off of that Uranus stationary, where that's part of that surprise, is this about to go wrong? And then it actually goes right. So the full moon, by the way, in Cancer is where these things start to actually be more of the, oh, that worked out better than I thought. That will be at 11:11 universal time at 3 degrees Cancer, which is your solar 7th house, of partnerships, of holding hands, of your committed relationships, your roommate, your best friendships. That kind of energy where there is a partnering of is where it really works in your favor. At the same time, Uranus goes direct. You've got that energy back up. You take that deep breath and you're excited about it. I believe that's 7:52. That's either 7:52 p.m. Pacific or Universal. You could check me on that. Mercury in Capricorn, again, your solar 1st house, semi-squares Neptune in Pisces, your solar 3rd house of the communications. And here we go. You thought that it'd be a mess, and it actually turns out to be a blessing, confirmed by Mercury in Capricorn trining Jupiter in Virgo, that solar 9th house of legalities, the way we understand things when we say, oh, but this is for the greater good. Also, those FedEx deliveries or overnight deliveries or 2-day deliveries that are supposed to go a certain way, they get tied up and somehow a benefit comes through it. This trine will also help you communicate more clearly, where if there was a misunderstanding, even with one of your children or grandchildren, or you in a generation above you, like your parents, maybe aunts and uncles, there's some benefit to this thing that boy, I almost see it as financial or some other kind of gift, or in the very least, some words exchange that solidify, strengthen this relationship, this understanding, this handshaking seems to go your way. The sun parallels Mercury. So again, sun in Capricorn, Mercury in Capricorn, you're just coming across beautifully. So keep going the way you're going. Don't change anything. All I want you to do is slow it down a little bit when you're about to go, because no. Just don't say it and you'll see that it clears itself up. And again, you're going to have this beautiful, extremely memorable kind of holiday season because of these things that seem to go the wrong way and then they correct themselves. On Saturday, we have the Justice card up right here. Are those more evidence for those of you born a little bit later where these influences weren't so apparent, that the justice system has worked in your favor, in the sense that the communications or the consolation gift, or when there is a remuneration of this information, it seems again to work in your favor. This is when we've got Venus in Scorpio, solar 11th house, sextiling the North Node in Virgo. You're right on point. It's perfect. Mars in Libra, semi-square Saturn in Sagittarius, your solar 12th house. Again, Libra being that house of your work, the career, your appearance, your fame, the way people know you, the reputation that precedes you, even succeeds you, is where we've got this correction almost, where things are again somehow, they seemed like they were going to go weird and then they go perfectly, and even coming across for you as being more of an authority in some way, your job, your reputation, your opinion, even the advice you gave, which somebody got pissed off about. And then it really was where they say, hey, look, listen, I know I reacted poorly, but you were so right. Sometimes it's the unspoken words that give us that validation as well. Although you're not a person that needs validation, you usually don't go around asking for it. You don't need it. Venus in Scorpio, semi-sextiles Mars in Libra. Again, Scorpio being that 11th house of your friends and your group associations, and even the money that comes in because of this chosen field or profession or scope of experience. Semi-sextiling that Mars in Libra, again, that 10th house. There you are, reaping benefits for something. Even if you're retired, here it is, where people really want to come to you and they want to ask you how you did it, how you succeeded. How did you turn this around? At what point did you know you had to shift gears? Because you seem to know that intuitively, and make it worth your time. Have them ask you and enjoy that moment. Sunday, we've got the Knight of Cups square. Either somebody comes bearing gifts or bearing apologies, or even intimating that they meant to take it better than they did, and they're maybe unspoken and trying to even intuit to you their appreciation. And it could be that somebody who's a romantic interest or a friend interest is making themselves more apparent. Mercury again in Capricorn in your first house, your first solar house, is trining that North Node in Virgo, just coming across perfectly. Sun in Capricorn is quintile Chiron in Pisces. There is your third house of communications, short distance travels, where it seems like there's a little bit of an adjustment energy, but there's the unspoken words of I told you so, but it's in your favor, not to your detriment. And Mercury in Capricorn semi-squaring Saturn in Sagittarius, there making even you come to a better understanding that things often work out in ways that are mysterious, where we say, oh crap, this is about to crash and burn, and you're trying to hold on, prepare yourself for re-entry, and this ship's busting up, and all of a sudden you land gracefully and somebody's presenting you with a piñata and playing the music, and wine and roses are on the offer. God bless you, Capricorn. It's going to be a great end of the year for you, especially now that you've come into this knowing that all along you were right. God bless, and I'll be talking to you soon.